Crises may not be palatable, but crises are required for our growth. Come along with me. Crises are situations or circumstances that God creates or allows that are beyond our control. And because they are beyond our control, we often do not like them. They stress us and sometimes put us in a form of anxiety, fear, or doubt. But one thing we must realize is that God intentionally allows crisis to improve us. God allows crisis so we can grow. See, nobody grows in comfortable times. We only grow in difficult times. And this is why crisis is needed for us to be shaken up and for us to actually grow. Because nobody knows you for the things you do not overcome. You are only known, or you only make history by the very things that you overcome. Crisis was not designed to kill you. Crisis was not designed to defeat you. In fact, crisis is history in the making. Crisis was designed for people like you and I to make history. I've come to discover in times of adversity like this, in times of crisis, there is always a call to leadership, a call for a voice that will be a beacon of hope, a beacon of faith, and a beacon of light. And you and I have the responsibility in crisis to actually be that beacon that the world is looking up to. Listen to me. Until you change your perspective about crisis, you are going to be defeated by the crisis. But when your perspective is such that you realize that it was not created for you to be defeated, you take advantage of it. If you look into the history books or you look at the Bible, you will realize that the many men and women that we celebrate today, thousands of years after or hundreds of years after, are people who have overcome something. People who have had to go through crisis and have come out successful. Listen to me. You need crisis to grow. I'm not just talking about the global pandemic or the global crisis. I'm talking about sometimes there could be crisis in your own life, situations that are beyond your control. God allows this sort of things to help you come into the full measure and into the full stature of who He wants you to be. So whenever there is a crisis in your life, like the one happening around the world right now, you must know that God is setting you up. Is setting you up for growth, is setting you up for you to become who He has created you to be. I love the words of William Shakespeare that says, "Sweet are the uses of adversity." You must learn to use crisis to your advantage. You must change your perspective from the fact that crisis was meant to defeat you to that crisis was actually designed to grow you. Until you overcome something, you will never be known in history. This crisis that you're in right now, whether it's the global one or the one you're passing through in your life, is your opportunity to grow. It's your opportunity to distinguish yourself. Beyond the Bible, there are men and women who have thrived in our world and faced crisis and faced adversity, and they have come out polished and not punished. We have people like Nelson Mandela. We celebrate these people today, even though they are long dead and gone, because they overcame crisis. My question to you is, what will this crisis birth in you? What will crisis do for you? How will you take advantage of this crisis? How would you tell the story of this crisis? At the end of the day, would you be polished or punished? The time of crisis is not a time to fear or be afraid. The time of crisis is not a time to be doubtful or be uncertain. It's actually a time to be certain even in the midst of uncertainty. It's a time to revise our vision. It's a time to plot our growth. It's a time to do things that we've never done before. It's a time to actually change and become a full measure and full stature of who God has called us to be.
Hey, and thank you for watching this episode of MOTIVITALITY. I believe you have been inspired. If you have, can you share this message with someone right away? And if you're saying, Dr. Sam, I love this message, would you please come bring this message to my church, my corporate organization, or that event I'm putting together? All you have to do right now is go to samuelekundayo.com/speaking, the link on your screen right now, and you'll be able to book me for that event of yours anywhere all over the world. And by the grace of God, I'll do my best to be there. Thank you once again for watching this episode. God bless you, and bye now.